This has been a long time coming. I've seen so many videos of smoke and mirrors when it comes to audio, sonic branding, music strategy, and how that ties into advertising, awareness, return on investment, impact. And honestly, I'm at the point now where I'm doing a disservice if I don't give you this information. And I don't start to disseminate this over the years to come, because I plan to be here for a long time, telling you about sound, sonic strategy, music, the culture, where it's moving, how it's impacting brands, how it's impacting advertising, how it's impacting our lives, subconsciously and consciously. There is so much to unpack with the power of sound, something that surrounds us every single day. Everywhere we go, every interaction we have, every piece of content that we engage with, in some way or another, is connected with sound. Whether there is no sound or there is sound, there is usually, in most cases or some cases, a consideration behind that. But the topic I want to talk to you about today is looking ahead to 2025, which is just around the corner. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, we're in 2025. And I want to tell you why brands will lose in 2025 if they do not focus on an audio and sound/sonic strategy. All right, let's get into it. Topic number one, audiences now are more discerning than they've ever been. People are so picky now when it comes to their clothes, when it comes to the type of food that they eat, who they hang out with, the gym that they go to, where they're spending their money. This translates into everything that they engage with. People are very picky. They find their niche and they stick to it, and then they want to feel like they're part of a community. So this translates to how a brand should be connecting with its audience, with its people. It's how you establish a community. It's how you establish what essentially represents a brand. To understand what a brand is, you have to think about what it means to have a community. Let's take, for example, a brand like Aim Lion d'Or, okay? This is a brand that has really found a niche in black music culture, looking at house, looking at hip hop, looking at groove, taken some of the stylistic elements from the culture and infused that into their products, and found a way to market themselves into a certain community. And that community talks, that community engages with each other, and it feels like a unit. That is essentially how brands now need to start thinking about sound, because of the discerning nature that people now have. And when I say discerning, how does that apply to sound? Well, every brand's audience will have a demographic that leans in a certain direction. So your brand might have women aged 30 to 55 for a certain type of dress, shoe, handbag, whatever it is. So what a brand now needs to think about is how can they take that discerning audience and work on those incremental changes that are going to transform the way the brand impacts and penetrates into that group of people. So the sound might be the types of spaces that they go to. Are these the types of people that like to go to lounge bars? They like to have nice cocktails. They like to have that feeling of luxury. Then give them music and sound that feels luxurious. Don't go down the stock route and give them generic house tracks or lo-fi hip hop, which seems to take over everywhere. It does my head in. Give them something that really makes them feel like they're in a space, or they're engaging with something that feels like them, that they identify with. So you can translate this to any industry, from insurance to fashion, from cars to books. It doesn't matter. There is an opportunity to really dive into what your audience connect with and what they care about. The other thing to think about is how personal music is and how personal sound is. Nowadays in London, I'm currently in Bali, and people do the same thing. They travel around with little earbuds in. in their own little world, right? So music is a really personal thing. But here, there's a massive opportunity with that. Because it's so personal, if you devise a strategy that allows you to find what connects to the individual, and we're talking D2C here, so direct to the consumer, direct to the individual. If you find out what feels really personal to them, you're going to build what's essentially a relationship with that person. They're going to feel a deeper connection. That's why I got into music. I got into music and I became fascinated with sound because how it makes me feel. And that feeling has manifested in me exploring sound to a certain level. I'm a music expert, a musician, an artist. So I'm a custodian of sound. But for many people who are not, they just enjoy it because how it makes them feel. It's a vehicle for their workouts. It's a vehicle for their relaxation. It's a vehicle for date night. Whatever it is, that's personal. They have their playlists. They have that's the whole thing. That's their vibe. You know what I mean? Like, so as a brand, you need to think about building a relationship with the individual. So if you're not doing that in 2025, you're already behind the curve because it's now all about incremental wins. You've got let me try that again. You've got generative AI. So we're now competing with visuals. Designers are now competing with computers to basically capture people's attention through visuals. You now have copyright that's been done by computers as well. So the words are now, it's a competitive space. And yes, of course, there is AI music capabilities. But here's the thing that I say to all of my clients. Yes, you can go down the stock music route. Yes, you can find someone that uses a tool to create music through AI. Yes. But your human interaction with the creative process, the human connectivity to decision making and making unique changes that are really unique to a thought process or a product or a campaign that you're doing that takes it away from what an algorithm understands. That is the difference, and that's what people are going to tune into. That kind of ties back to that discerning way of thinking. The other reason why brands will lose in 2025 if they don't focus on sound and they don't focus on audio is attention. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants attention, right? And yeah, for years, songs and loud sonic logos and jingles and stuff have kind of been blaring, but they haven't been considered. You want to pick up, it's not like you don't want to throw mud at a wall and hope something sticks. What you want to do is you want to throw an arrow or fire an arrow through the heart of everybody and make them fall in love with you. So how are you going to do that? Think about the audio that works. If you know you've got people that are buying your trainers and they love hip hop, but they actually love New York hip hop over West Coast hip hop, don't then give them West Coast hip hop. Give them Nas style beats. Why don't you work with a producer to create a bespoke album or creation of 2-3 songs that are related to that shoe? They can then download those. They can listen to it in the gym. They can tell their friends about it, wear the shoe, listen to that album when they're getting ready or their project when they're getting ready. That is the mindset that brands should be taking up. And there's a huge opportunity to do that. It's been made difficult because there have been a lot of smoke and mirrors, as I mentioned at the start, from big sound production companies in this space. This is another video that I'll have to put together, but really, I want to break down the barriers. I'm here to break down the barriers of what is actually possible for brands when it comes to audio. I feel like it's the final frontier before we go into fully dive into the metaverse is actually squeezing all of the juice out of the audio lemon. So yeah, that's a really important one. And actually, just jumping back into the bespoke, making a bespoke piece for whatever you're trying to do, sell, campaign for, is within that, there's a huge opportunity for PR. Another conversation I'll have to have is about the hospitality space and how sound can be used to enhance spaces, enhance a customer experience, enhance the whole vibe of an in-person experience, say a hotel, a spa, a restaurant, for example. And the opportunity lies by creating an audio experience that's related to the environment, related to the product, to the service. And through that bespoke audio project lies an opportunity for more PR. So let's say, for example, one of our clients in the hotel space wanted to create a piece of work that could make make visitors feel a certain way. Just basically, wash over them and feel elevated, feel more refined by being in that space. That is forward thinking, because even though it's subconscious, it's considered, and it's those small details that play into the psychology of marketing, that play into the psychology of effective branding. And so that is what's really important. And that then feeds into them giving 5-star reviews. It feeds into them buying something in the lobby, or, becoming more affiliated to that brand because they feel something. This is the difficulty that I think a lot of brands have tried to battle and have battled with, is that sometimes it's being made out that the impact of audio is not tangible. Like it's a feeling, and a feeling can't be quantified. But the truth is, it can, because you can test things out. You have A/B testing in marketing, but really, you need to A/B test. The way that we work with clients is that we create opportunities for them to decide what connects with them on an audio basis, and then from that you iterate and build an audio asset that really aligns to the ethos and the values of the brand and what they're trying to achieve. So that again is A/B testing, and you can apply that to different products. You can apply that in hotels. If you've got hotels, in one hotel in Jakarta, you've got a hotel in Hong Kong, you've got one in London, you can then create different tests and build that out. That's okay, I'm recording a video. I'm just recording a video so I can edit and splice. One thing that is worth considering is how many brands have tried to deliver or put content out, use music that has already been licensed, had that video blocked and taken down. The loophole that a lot of brands really should be taking control of is putting bespoke assets into their content. So what that means is that the brand will then own the rights to that audio. They can then post that freely wherever, and it doesn't get taken down, and it costs less. You don't have to pay licensing. You pay for the asset to be made. You plug it into the video or the campaign or whatever you're doing, and then it's theirs to use. And so I say this to all my clients: when you go bespoke, you own that. It all depends on who you're working with, of course. We create the asset and then we allow brands to use it, but that is a really important process for brands to think about, especially in 2025. So it kind of ties into the last point of budget. If you want budget to go a bit further and get ROI, those are the sort of things you need to be thinking about. Just a few things to consider. I'll be back with more information, more thoughts, ideas, but I hope that's helpful. See you on the next one.